All right, welcome to part 2. I ran out of room on the first video, so if you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. My intention is unity, oneness, and the highest levels of love light. I did it on a separate phone. Thankfully, I have a backup old phone, so I'm going to finish recording. I was just kind of going into a little flow, and so we'll kind of continue from there. If you didn't watch the first video, you might want to go back and check it out, or at least kind of check out the end of it. The beginning, I kind of gave a little energy update about what I've been feeling the last 2 weeks, a little sharing of my own journey and my own experience. But this, I'm just going to kind of roll right into kind of where I was in the same vicinity, so to speak. Kueamo kunetia uhe este kune e wahane inu owa kuwa ai te mukuna. And these different sounds and tones and these different activations that we all connect into allow us to dip into a deeper bank, if you will, a deeper resonance of harmony. We allow us to go into the depths of who we are, who we were, and recognize more of what it is that we are feeling out, this deeper essence of spaciousness. And so I'm seeing depth in spaciousness. Many are feeling this inability to stabilize, if you will, the inability to realize the inner essence of truth, of their own inner being. Many are feeling destabilized by the energies that are coming in, that are flowing in, that are, I'm seeing a river breaking apart all of the like stuck. Oh, okay, I'm being shown my dream. So I dreamed that there were these houses on these banks, and they were these big, beautiful houses that people had built. But a flood came last night and broke off the land in which these houses were on. And I think there were 4 of them, and they were each different, but they were brand new. And they literally broke off, the entire structure came out and was floating down the river. So it was like house after house after house, and also somebody's refrigerator. And people were stuck in these houses, and they needed to be pulled out of the houses so that they didn't float down the river. And it came off in one big chunk. It was like, oh, that's my entire house floating down the river, brand new. But they hadn't been built on solid land. They were built on these big chunks with no real foundation. And so then this flood, which really wasn't this huge flood, it was just a river, came and pulled them off of their foundation. And what I'm being shown is there's a lot of people who are looking for control, and they're looking for stability, but they don't realize that their house is floating away right underneath them, because they're too busy looking around and projecting, or not even recognizing that there is a deeper rooted system. There is a deeper essence that is wanting to come up to fill up the cup that runneth over. And so many are being washed away on other shores, or being washed away by unsurety. For this lack of feeling of stability, this instability, we are being invited to get back into stability, in our own inner stability, in our own understandability, our own ability to understand, to stand from our own inner experience, our own inner expression, our own inner resilience, if you will. And this pulls back into that previous channeling that I was kind of sharing. For we are all channels of our own resilience. We are all anchoring into these deeper frequencies. We are being invited to I'm hearing restabilize, but I'm seeing it as that's all a play on words. Realize, stable, the table, putting everything on the table, right? And our abilities to stabilize in these energies and these frequencies can feel very testy at times. The waters can feel very overwhelming at times. Yet we are being invited to recognize our own birth waters. Our own waters run still. We are being invited to stabilize our own inner earth waters. So there's our bodies, our own inner, like our whole body's filled with water. I talked about this in the last video. Our fascia, everything has water in it. And so if we are not harmonizing within, then it's hard for us to feel stable when something comes up to trigger us, when something comes up to wash away. And I'm seeing that some of these things are good. Some of these things that are coming up are meant to destabilize us, so that we look and realize that it was never real in the first place. And this is where compassion into compression in expression is of the utmost import. So we always talk about decompressing, and I hear decompressing to step out of depression. But we have to recognize too that compression is sometimes where things go into a deeper space of, like, we're taking all of that and we're compressing it in, right, in our reality. And then we're recognizing that becomes dense, but then it allows us to then, so what is that implosion, right? The harmonics, again, talking about the heart monics. So it's basically going from compression to compassion is what I'm hearing. And not feeling depressed under compression. I'm hearing under pressure, because this is the key. And when we allow all that stuff to kind of, I'm hearing de-assimilate, if you will, it allows us to assimilate away from assumptions and into a higher assimilation, out of the simulation into the higher chambers of truth. So I'm hearing stepping out of the simulation and manipulation and energy manipulation into our true ability to manifest, our true manifesto. I'm just seeing this is all play in words. So how we stabilize, assist us in this journey. So I'm hearing we may feel that we're on water right now, but recognizing again, still waters run deep. Be still and know thyself. Who does this belong to? Does this belong to me? Or is this something that I'm allowing to say this is mine, even though it isn't? Boy, there's so much. As we allow ourselves to be this, I'm seeing that we're the boat. We are all doing our own. We are all our own record keepers, if you will. We are all our own, I'm hearing rehabilitators. So this is a play on words. Some of us are in rehab right now. Like, that's a play on words. Like, we are rehabilitating. We are creating a new habit. We are letting go of the old habits. But when I say habit, that's a play on words. It's like things we've done over and over again. We're like, okay, we're going to integrate those. But it's also, what have we been wearing? Like, what have we been externalizing from the internal? Where do we live? Like, where is our home base? Know thyself. Still waters run deep. So it's also about recognizing that we can connect into the stillness, and that roots us into and anchors into and grounds us into this now moment. And I talked in my previous video that I had rearranged some sessions with people. I recognized I needed to get grounded. And that means connecting with the earth. I'm sitting on the ground right now. That means getting out and getting barefoot. It also it's also about us recognizing when we need to ground into our own reality and not necessarily go out into other people's realities. Even though we're all sharing these bubbles, sometimes we really have to focus in as what is it that I need to focus on right now? And of course, that's always relevant, right? And then once we get into that place of inner stability, I'm hearing it's understandability. Our ability to understand ourselves gives us that stability and the ability to understand others. And this is a play on words. It's not about understanding them. We don't have to get it. We don't have to get them, or we don't have to understand what they're going through. But we can stand strong and fluid in what we are experiencing and expressing that allows them to be able to express. And that is a deeper understanding rather than us agreeing or disagreeing with what their experience is, if that makes sense. This is what I'm hearing. I'm just in flow right now about this. This allows us to tap into the wisdom of the inner child. The wisdom of the child knows that all is play. All is an expression. All is in expression. And as we play in this new, I'm hearing patch of reality, patchwork quilts. Ooh, play on words. I'll have to go back and play with that. We allow ourselves to come together in our own tones, inner tune, another reference to the previous video, inner tunology. Breathe, dance, sing, meditate, write, draw, paint, play with mathematical numbers and analogies, seek out beautiful geometries, seek out beautiful flow and movement that the trees hold as they work with the wind in unison, in unisong. Feel as the wind reaches out to connect with you. Connect into the inner root system that we are all a part of in mass, en masse. This allows us to take off the mask, literally and figuratively. Allows us to take off the mask of who we think we are. It allows us to feel back into our inner star, connect with our home star, our inner star fire, our recognition of who we are. Allow ourselves to be the standing foundation and unity, the founding, I'm hearing fathers and mothers. For we are not who we think we are. We are each being gifted the opportunity to see past. This is a play on words. I'm seeing people look past things to the future and then to the past. Like look past, I see behind me, I'm looking past what's in front of me, and I'm looking through what is happening in passing. For all is passing, and we are in the process of passing through in this now moment. We are accessing a deeper space, in a deeper space that is more congruent with that which we are filling into. For we are not filling someone else's shoes. We are not walking in the habits, the same suits. We are not filling out our own, our old habits, so to speak. We are being invited to let go of the habits that we have lived in before. For we are the living archaeology. We are the living archaeology. We are the living archaeology. We are divine in all that we do. For we are the elements. We are walking elementals in our skin suits, in this habit, in this habitat. We are at our own tukuwehene wahakuahana. I'm just being guided to play with this, like, habit you all. I bid you all. Hybrid tat. Hybrid. We are hybrids at the elemental level. We are expanding out into new levels of elementals. If I go back and write this down, there's so much to play with. We are the habit you all. This is a play on words too. The habit-chew all. We are digesting these old habits. And I'm seeing that we've outgrown the old house. We're going back to go forward, to go back to our habitats that we meant to move forward into. So it's like we're going back to the old, back to the basics, yet it's not, it's all new. It's all new now. And as we reframe out this new structure, as we reframe out this new land base, so to speak, as we recognize that we are moving through and past and beyond these base frequencies, we create a new base harmonic that all else must reside into. I'm hearing resiliently pick up on. So this is like we're the tuning forks. We're creating this, and others are picking up on this. And they're not sure what's going on, but we're assisting them in break on through to the other side, breaking through this heavy, dense network that we've all been a part of. I'm hearing be in a part of. It's no longer about us being in a part of something, for we are the whole, connected to this whole. And I'm seeing this as a whole, like a creative force of a black hole. And this isn't said to be like we think of black holes as destructing and pulling apart, and it's not what we think they are. They're actually creative forces, and we are that. I'm hearing I am the force because I am a Jedi. It always comes up, right? And we connect back into our red roots. We connect back into our blue roots. We connect back into all of our roots, our rainbow roots. For we are all that. As we are the rainbow tribe, we are that big. We are that massive. I'm hearing massive and massive hive. We are, and as I say that, I'm hearing massive 5, right? Like 5D, massive phi, PHI. I'm seeing us throwing our weight around by not being dense. As we break through this fence, as we break through the offense, as we get past the defense, as we get past our own offensiveness, our own defensiveness, we allow ourselves to be the higher reference point. We allow ourselves to stop pointing at the defense and the offense. We are not offended by those that are projecting their own defensive systems. We are breaking through that which has been defensified, defalsified. We are, I'm seeing that as a play on words, like that's what has been falsified, we are defalsifying it. We are like D. This is a letter. This is a harmonic. Ooh, this is a big play on words too. I got to go back and find my notes. We are the D light. We reunite. Reunited and it feels so good. We are reunited in our alchemy, in our connectivity, in our cone, in our connectivity. I'm seeing a cone all around. Like if it looks like a cone here, and a cone here, and a cone here, from a center focal point, right? And it cones all out. And it's all these different tunnels, but they're all connected. This has to do with time. This has to do with resources. This has to do with collaboration. This has to do with, it has to do with everything. For we've broken through the archaic structure in our new archaeology. For archaeology is a reference to the past, yet we are the keys to our own phonology, our own orphanology. Those that have been orphaned, so to speak, are actually us. We have a home, and it is in the heart. We have a home, and it is here now. We have a home, and we are home. We are home in our hearts. And as we allow ourselves to be in our own habits, in our own skin suits, as we feel at home in our suits of technology, we allow ourselves to create through this new space and birth into our new essence of being that which we are of essence. And so it is. There's so much more. I could just keep going and going and going. But for now, lots of plays on words. Namaste.